Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Dixon here with episode 153 of the MLM Monday Show. This week on the show, we're going to be talking about how to teach people to create value to earn instead of trading time for dollars. It's an awesome concept that many of us know in direct sales, but you ask the question of how do you teach masses of people to understand and know that? And that's what we'll be talking about today. If you're brand new to the show and just watching for the first time, go ahead and comment below where you're watching from. If you're watching on replay, comment below watching on replay. Now, this conversation is fantastic because we all face it in direct sales, as how to explain the difference of trading time for dollars, what most people do at a job, versus creating value and getting paid for the value you create in society. And this came real for me again. Had some family over this weekend to celebrate one of my daughter's birthdays. Had a first birthday celebration. You gotta love that. You gotta celebrate mom more than the kid because she made it, right? All the breastfeeding and stuff you go through to raise a young and incredible stuff. But over that conversation, had one of my younger nephews in his early 20s talking about what he's done post college to create income for himself, and he's finding his way in life as a young person. And we had to explain, my other cousins and brother-in-law and I, the difference between trading time for dollars and then getting paid for creating value in the world. And it brought on the topic of how do you educate people this, of just people have never thought of that before. And what I ended up doing at the end of the conversation was sharing a book. It's one of my favorite things to do when somebody doesn't understand a topic or doesn't understand a concept. I like finding books that are 80 to 150 pages, simple stuff where someone can have their mind shifted into what's possible, new possibilities for themselves, new things that they didn't know were possible before in that space. The book I chose to share with my nephew was the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know how many of you are Rich Dad fans out there, but I love sharing that book with him because it's a great parallel of the difference of traditional culture teaching you to get a job and finding success versus creating value and getting paid for creating value in the world through the cash flow quadrant. And I love that story of the rich dad and the poor dad just because of how simple it makes some of these topics. And so I want to invite you here on the show today, if you have a book that you have found makes it simple to explain that difference between trading time for dollars and getting paid for the value you create in the world, post it below in the comments. These are powerful tools anyone who's watching this show can use to engage people around them, to interact in a new way, and to do something a little bit different than possibly what they've done before. Because by doing the work and by giving people a tool, you can then open their mind to new possibilities. And so success only comes by opening people's mind to new possibilities. We've been really into using education and books to help direct sales companies with their own members get to new levels of success and to find what's possible in their lives. One of my favorite tools of the last 2 years in the business I've been in is this idea of creating an X factor. And the X factor is the only difference between you and the other guy promoting your direct sales company, or you and the other gal. What do I mean by that? When someone joins a referral marketing company or a direct sales company today, everybody has the same opportunity. They truly do. They get paid direct in proportion for the amount of sales volume they create in that organization. So it doesn't matter what your race is, your background, your gender, any of those things. If you show up and do the work and create volume, you get paid for the value you create. So it's one of those organizations that out of the whole world is equal to the value you create for that organization. And so one of the things that I have found is that people have to understand that if they're going to have a different result, if they're going to have a different wins in their life, then it's going to be about them being more, them creating more value in the world. And the only difference is the X factor, which is you. You choose to be the X factor. And so we've done some cool things to break through the noise in the space today. There's a lot of noise in direct selling. And inside of the corporate systems we put together for companies in this space, we've literally created a training area where people have to be finishers of content, not just starters. So instead of just having a training library where someone can tap and view as they please, we actually have someone who starts a module have to finish that module with no fast forward, no rewind button before they can mark it complete and earn action points. And all that just came together for me as I was explaining this to my nephew over the weekend, of the idea of how do you help someone understand the difference between trading time for dollars and creating value. Hey, a book is great. And then how do you inspire your people who have joined your direct sales company, who said they want more but aren't getting results yet? Well, you have to create training that they can go through, an education that they can go through to get their expectations adjusted so that they can be accountable and go get real results in their life. And that is the X Factor. If you'd like to learn more about the X Factor or even sharing your favorite book, and you'd like to see a demo, we have a private webinar we did for a group of MLM executives I'd love to share with you. Send me a message here on Facebook and let's connect, and I'll get you that private link if you want to check that out. Until then, everybody, have an amazing day. Look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye for now.